Yes, stop that.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We're going to start in a minute or two. We're just giving a few more parents a little more time to join. We have 78 persons on, so we're going to give them a few more minutes, and then we're going to join in another. We're going to begin in another 2 minutes. The agenda is displayed on screen.
Good evening. No, the meeting hasn't started as yet. Just give people a few more minutes.
Okay, good night, parents, and welcome to our meeting. This is our first meeting for this year. This is our first meeting for this year, and we welcome you. We trust that 2022 would be a very prosperous one for you, and also that this year that the blessings of the Lord will be upon us. I'm going to invite a parent to open in prayer for us. Any parent from the floor who wishes to, you could raise your hand and you'll be acknowledged, and we could ask you to do our opening prayer. Any volunteers?
Okay.
Go right ahead, please.
All right, let's pray now. Most powerful and righteous God, we come before in prayer. Just want to thank you for the day. Thank you for all the parents that are online, the administrators. I pray this PTA meeting will go well. We'll be encouraged, and also we can voice our concerns if we have any. I pray that anybody's not here will get here soon, so we can so nobody will be behind. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to come to you in prayer, and I pray that God, you bless this meeting. You be with the administrator who's going to delegate. Help us to have an open ear and listen keenly to what is being said, and ask appropriate questions and voice our concerns in a respectful and fair manner. We give you thanks, we give you praise. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that, Michael. I appreciate it much. Okay, so we will.
Dane, not Michael.
Pardon?
My name is Dane, not Michael.
Dane. Okay, Dane, can I have your full name for the record, please, so that we can.
Dane Hines. D-A-N-E.
D-A-N-E Hines. Okay.
H-I-N-D-S.
Okay, great. So that it can be captured. All right. Thank you so much, Dane, for that prayer. Okay, so we're going to start, and we're going to do our welcome and opening remarks. So last November we had our meeting, and from that meeting we had selected a new executive, and I just want to take the time now to present that executive to you parents, so that you are able to familiarize yourself with the persons whom you have voted for. So we have on the executive in the post of PTA president, which is myself speaking to you, Dwayne Taylor. We have also on the executive committee, we have Danica. Danica, can you say hello to the group?
Good night, parents, teachers. Yes, I'm here, Dane. Good evening.
Okay. And Danica, let them know your post.
Oh, yes, I am the vice president for the PTA.
Okay, great. Okay, so we also had elected Stephanie. However, Stephanie has subsequently resigned from that post. And we have Tiffany, who was elected as both in two roles. Tiffany was elected as the PRO and also to the assistant secretary. So she's assistant secretary and the PRO and the PRO. She will now move into more the role of the secretary, and we will ask someone else to deputize to assist us in the role of the PRO. We have Dominique and Dominique. Tiffany, are you in the meeting? So maybe she hasn't joined up yet. And we also have Dominique. Dominique, you wanna greet everyone? Okay, I'm not hearing from Dominique, so we will have her greet us later on. We had elected a slate of class representatives, and we have a thriving from K1 right up to K3 class representatives. If the class representatives are here, can you just give a shout out to your class, say who you are and which class you represent?
Yes, good evening. I'm Trisha Gordon, and I represent class K1S.
Okay. So Trisha is for K1S. Anyone else of the class reps are here?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Sade Vernon Taylor, and I am representing K1R, Miss Reed and Miss Ruth.
Any other K1? Okay, how about K2?
Evening, here representing K2F and C.
Okay, thank you for that, Rochelle. Any other K2? Any more K2 class reps are in on the meeting?
Yes, Mr. Taylor, Ms. Fraser had typed in the chat. She's unable to talk. Shauna
Okay,
Fraser representing for K2B.
Right, K2B, that's Miss Shauna Fraser. Okay.
Right, and Danica is the class rep for class K2K.
K2K. Thank you so much for that, Danica. All right, so the other persons now for class K3s. Would you like to introduce yourself? K3s, no K3s, no K3 reps are here. Okay, we're gonna come back to them later on because we'd really love to hear from them. All right, so just to let you know, okay, so we are yet to do the minutes for the last meeting. So we're going to be working on that for our next meeting. So we are going to defer the confirmation of the minutes and also to the action items that were associated with that particular meeting and follow up. So we're going to defer point 3 and 4. So points 3 and 4, we're going to be deferring, and we're going to continue to point 5, which is matters for discussions. So as you know, where we are located, we're located in a very secure space. And also there are some protocols that we are to abide by in terms of where we're located. And so, you know, we have a parking lot, and that parking lot, where it is located, we currently, if you look at the lot, if you have been at the school and look at the lot, you recognize that it was recently cut. And what we are planning on doing is to try to organize the parking in the lot. So what we have observed over the past few weeks is that based on how persons are currently parking, it makes it very difficult for some persons to find parking within the lot. The lot is bigger than the space that persons are now parking. And so we are going to be embarking to find a way to help us to organize ourselves a little bit better so that we can accommodate all the parents who desire parking. So currently there is an issue, and I know one parent in one of the groups had pointed it out earlier, saying they were having some challenges in terms of parking. It was something that we also observed again today. And I know one or two parents were commenting on the fact that they were unable to park properly. So some persons were forced to park on the road. So it was a little bit chaotic and not necessarily what we are used to doing at the school. So we're going to be asking and requesting parents to be mindful of this in terms of how you park, to make sure that you park in a way that the lot can accommodate as many cars as possible. So our commitment generally is to make sure that the lot is in a state that it is not going to cause or promote any damage to your vehicle. So you can safely drive in and park without any fear of anything bursting your tires or stuff like that. We're trying to keep the place as clean as possible. Within the same breath, we have to make sure we keep the lot clean and orderly. And so as a result of that, we're going to be embarking on some activities to ensure that that is organized. So you'll be hearing from us in the coming weeks. So Danica will undertake a little exercise just to get us a little more orderly and ordered within the particular space so that we can ensure persons can safely come in, park, and exit without any problems or any issues. I know a few parents may have had some bad experiences in the past, or maybe currently they're experiencing some challenges, but I want you to do drop us a line, notify us of what the issues are so that we are able to look at them and try to find a way to address them. But within this meeting, I don't know if one or two parents may want to comment on the issue of parking. Okay, go ahead, Atavia.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Notwithstanding what was said by Mr. Taylor, I have personally observed persons, there are ample parking spaces, and persons still refuse to go in the lot. I was there today and I saw Miss Burnett, pointing out people. There was a red vehicle. I think it was a BMW or a Mercedes, one of them. And it was parked at the front of the parking area, and there was ample space for that person to go inside, and the person didn't. There was also a taxi picking up, and also they didn't go inside. So I just want to say, notwithstanding the parking issues, there are parents and designated pickup persons who refuse to go in the lot for whatever reasons. And, we have to be a bit more mindful, because as you would have said, Mr. Taylor, it's a high security area. For those of you who do not know, you have the Governor General office, you have Office of the Prime Minister, you also have the leader of the opposition office on that stretch. And we ought to be very mindful of those things. And, the school, might be impacted because of persons who just willy-nilly decide to park wherever they want. So just wanted to throw that out as well. I've never personally had any issues with getting a parking spot, but I'm not saying other persons haven't. I have never experienced that over my 2 terms at Jamaica House.
Mr. Taylor, can I just interject at this moment?
Yes, Ms. Burnett, I was going to invite you.
For some reason, I have to be joining with my phone, so I can read the parking. Over the years, we have had issues with it, and I've been to several meetings at King's House. And the last meeting, they threatened that if we continue to park on the roadways, they are going to close the black gate at the front, and persons will have to find their way up with their children. They said that, as you said, it's an high-risk area. They need to ensure that the peripheries on both sides are clear. The officers must be able to sit in the guard room at King's House and see down to the black entrance gate. And I'm very sure that they are going to be hauling me back into a meeting, and I really can't afford to. So one of the things they said, they'll allow us, give us the parking lot free of cost. They'll start cutting it for us. It reached the point now where they decided that they're not cutting it anymore. They give us an area. The area that you see cut is our area that we are to use for parking. And I'm sure because the other day somebody from King's House passed, I heard and was commenting on the parking. And there are some persons who just refuse to go in there, and they might cause the rest of persons to suffer. And I don't know what will happen if they close that black gate down there, and it means we won't have a school up there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Ms. Bonner. So, so I'm going to appeal to parents who are using the lot, or quote unquote using the roadway as the parking lot, that you have to desist from doing so because of the critical nature of the area. There are some surveillance cameras that are there, so you may not see someone physically looking at you, but there are persons who are actually looking through those cameras, and they're picking up exactly what is happening at all the times within that particular space. So it's very important that we try as much as possible to help them do their jobs, as well as we ourselves making sure that we have, I would say, a high level of awareness, because what we don't want is a situation where there is any kind of security emergency and we are caught in the middle of that. We want to make sure as much as possible we are within the particular designated space, especially in the parking lot, just to make sure that we are within our space. So I'm going to encourage us, for those who are doing pickups or drop-offs, or having persons or asking or requesting persons to pick up or drop off, whether it be a taxi or a friend, to please use the parking lot. Okay, so we're going to be doing some work in the parking lot over the next couple of weeks, so look out for that, and we're going to be inviting your participation in that little effort, just to make sure that we have a lot that represents us as parents, in terms of we have a nice comfortable spot that is safe for us and safe for us to do our dropping offs and pick up. We know that sometimes there's a challenge when the rain falls, but we will be coming up with something to kind of assist us as parents in the movement of our children whenever there is whenever it rains. So we are looking at it, and we're working to see how best we can improve to make sure that the space is safe and suitable for all of its users, which includes us as parents and whoever else that may need to use it in terms of the visitors to the school. All right, so I'm going to encourage us again, please make sure that we utilize the parking lot. It's very important. Okay, so the second issue that we want to address.
Excuse me, before you move on.
Yes.
Concerning the parking lot, I was wondering if you guys have considered making the gates wider so that vehicles can exit and enter without either party having to stop and wait on the other.
I don't think we can do that because it's King's House property, or it belongs to the Commissioner of Lands. So they would have to do that. We can't do anything to it.
Good night. If I might, excuse me. The gate don't need to be wider. We just need to use the gate, the parking lot properly. I have several evenings I come here to pick up, and I have to be standing in the middle of the parking lot, directing persons to go to the back and park at the back, and just to show them that they can drive through the gate easily without any hassle once they've done it properly. So the gate don't need to be wide.
Right. I'm not quite sure we can widen the gate, to be honest, because that is an issue. The truth is we're in borrowed spots, so we were allotted a space, and whatever was provisioned for us, those provisions are what we have to work with per se. So I'm not quite sure if we're at liberty to be widening the gate at this point. I'm not saying
no,
something
we can't, Mr. Taylor.
Okay. So that's something that we may not be able to have done at this point. So that is an issue. I think there's one other parent or two other parents who had their hand up.
Hi, evening everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you, David.
No, Crooks, Andre Crooks.
Oh, Andre Crooks.
Yeah, hi. All right. As it pertains to the parking lot, I can remember initially when my son had just enrolled, I had parked. When you enter the premises, there's a big tree like to the back. I'd parked further down to that area, and when the security officer used to be there, she had advised me that we were not allowed in that area. So I know you said that some work will be done to facilitate the parking, but if some demarcation can be done, we know how far we can go as opposed to how far we shouldn't. I think that would greatly assist us as drivers and parents who are picking up and dropping off. I personally have never had a problem because I try to get there on time so that, you know, I can be in and out. But if we can have some demarcation as to how far we can go as opposed to how we shouldn't, I think that should help.
Mr. Crooks, the
Yes,
area
hi.
that you see there that is cleared, we are allotted from the first post to the third one, and then it comes around, according to King's House, around the roundabout. That is right where the tree is. All of that area there. And I noticed some going back to the JPS place. Persons don't park over there, and we made sure that the area was cleared and stoned so that if persons park over there, you won't have the tree, the grass growing back because we can't afford to be cutting it. So I got a tractor to level it down, and it was stone, gravel, so persons can park right back to that fence. But nobody's going back there, and so the grass keep growing back, and we really can't afford to pay to cut it. So it's good if persons park and the grass.
Okay. All right, thanks much.
Thanks for that.
I said, Madam Chairman, board chair has her hand up.
Right, answer. Right. Welcome to our board chair, Ms. Sophia Smith. Nice of you to join us, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. The floor is yours.
Okay, regarding parking, Mrs. Burnett had to go to meetings with King's House. Thus, we put tires on the side to prevent persons parking on the side of the school property. One of the reasons why that road needs to be clear, the entrance on Hope Road cannot facilitate an emergency vehicle based on how it's built. If they have an emergency, any emergency at all, such as if a fire truck needs to go across to where the Governor General's property is, that road needs to be cleared. If they have a security emergency, they are not going to take the time to negotiate your vehicle, and you cannot claim. I'm asking once again, please utilize the parking space responsibly. Do not park on the side of the road. It's put risk to your children and to yourself. And also for security purposes, they need to have clear view of the second gate that you enter to reach the parking lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for that. Okay, so I'm hoping that we have a clear understanding and we are all in full agreement with what is being shared in terms of the parking.
Hi, good night.
Yes, go ahead, Dane.
I had mine up. All right. I'm not seeing why there should be a big deal about the parking. The last time I checked, people might find it offensive. We're all adults. And if we just simply comply with some simple rules, then there's no need for a discussion about parking. Persons just stop anywhere they feel like. But if first thing, we can't do anything to that. It's not Jamaica basics land. So it's borrowed land, as was stated. So there's no need for us to be having a discussion consistently about parking. We as adults, we need to just comply. That's how our kids will learn. So it doesn't matter of us just being compliant. You wait, you park, and not on the side, but actually inside the location. And for the simple instructions that's given, you don't park here, don't park there. So there should be a discussion about something that growing adults should simply use their common sense and do.
Well, then we're having that challenge. I'm going to ask Kellyanne, and then we take the Nikas.
All right, good night, everyone. I'm actually in two PTA meetings, so please excuse the noise in the background. My question, and I did write it in the chat, I just need at this moment, I know my Karen is saying that they just need to exercise patience. Yes, they do. However, this is a public taxi. I'm not talking one that I call on time or express or city guide. I'm talking a robot taxi that I might have taken to the compound. Yes, I've tried to not get them to the gate because that's what I heard. I'm from K1. So I tried not to get them to the gate and to park down lower. They are not going to go inside the parking lot because they're asking actually the passengers in the vehicle if they can just get a little time to do the turn off. Now, if I should see these drivers and say, can you give me, let's turn into the parking lot, please, so I can get out. Now imagine you're in the vehicle trying to get to work. Somebody comes in, get for the turn off. They are going inside the parking lot, having difficulties getting outside of the parking lot or out of the parking lot. And what should I do? When they see me next time, they're not going to give me the turn off because they're going to remember this experience. I'm now asking, what are the recommendations for persons who don't have a vehicle of their own, neither are they taking a private transportation or a on time or a city guide? What do you do then? You're taking public, a robot taxi then. What do you tell those persons? Remember, we can sit here and say that the parents should park properly and all of that. And we know tomorrow morning that this situation is not going to be fixed. What do we then do? What do you recommend that I do? Park on the outside and walk, come up? I don't know. Can you please tell me?
Okay, right. So,
Can I
can
say something regarding that?
Danica will address that. Kelly. You can go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
So, all right. So you're saying that if a robot taxi or one taxi that the route taxi that says you ask for a turn off. All right, based on the road itself, the driver or the taxi driver has to turn. So it would be safe for him to go into the parking lot, turn, and get out. So that's a fix. Because if he would have to reverse. And if you look at the two sides of the road, it's a bit high. So he can damage his vehicle by just reversing over to the side. So by going into the parking lot and turn, that will save him from damaging his vehicle or impeding traffic coming up. So that's a simple fix. That's not an issue in terms of asking for a turn off. He asks for a turn off and he turns into the parking lot like he's turning to come back out. So that's not an issue I am seeing from just being there and looking.
Okay, and we're going to address that because the fact is that we're trying to organize the parking lot, and Danica will speak to that in a few. We're going to be organizing it so that it accommodates everybody and it suits everybody's purpose, whether you're a taxi man or not. Go ahead, Danica.
Yes, good evening again, parents. Well, yes, as Dane indicated, we have some plans on organizing the parking lot so as to make everyone like easier and everything just work accordingly. What I'm just asking now are parents to volunteer who would be willing and interested to assist in executing this project. Can you just indicate by either dropping your name in the chat, or you can tell the class teachers and they will let us know your names, but I'm just asking persons to please volunteer to assist with this project that we have to make the parking lot and the parking space more marked and organized, so we won't have to have this discussion going forward. Over to you, Dane.
Thanks for that, Danica. So Danica will be spearheading that project just to ensure that we have the parking lot sorted. So we will address that. So Kelly, we will address that issue that you have and make sure that it is part of the whole scheme of what we're planning on doing. in terms of having it organized, and yes, in a way that it facilitates the pickup and the drop off and the persons who are parking and / walking and coming back to their vehicle. Okay, Danica, go ahead again.
No, sorry, I'm to lower my hand. Sorry about that.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. All right, so that is the major issue that we wanted to put on the table in terms of parking and the parking arrangements. So plans are afoot for us to address that and to bring some level of organization and order to the area, just to make sure that it works for us all, because we are about finding solutions to problems, and this is one that I'm quite positive and sure that for us as parents, we can find an easy fix. This is nothing too hard for us to do, and I don't think it's going to be either expensive. So I think we can do it, and we can do it in short order. So we're hoping that within the next month or two, hopefully by the end of next month, that you should see some sign of what it is that we're doing, or you should have seen the completed project in terms of what it is that we plan to execute within the space. So we are open to your suggestions and ideas as it pertains to the parking lot. So please, if it is that you have any expertise in the particular area in terms of parking and security safety arrangements, we would covet your skills and input in terms of having us ironing out that plan, just to make sure that it is well executed and that it pays attention to all the details that are necessary to make sure that, as I said, the space is safe and also secure for all of us to use. Okay, so thank you very much for your input and insights in terms of the parking issue. So we'll be speaking to you again as we seek to implement the way forward in terms of the parking lot where that is concerned. So you'll be a part of the project and you'll be kept abreast as to what role you can play in that. So Danica just shared with you that we are seeking persons to assist us, so we can form a little group of us who will actually work it out. So if you are interested in that and you can assist, please do assist us where that is concerned. The next matter that we want to look at is to talk a little bit about COVID and parents. How are you coping? I know that there has been a spike in the new variant of Omicron. So we wanted to just get a feedback from parents. If we have started face-to-face, how is that working for you in terms of the 5-day schedule? We want just to get your feedback, how it is that you're feeling about it and what is happening at the school. Can I have one or two parents just share on that? And the parent, you can raise your hand and go ahead and share. We have over 100 parents in the room, and I know we have quite a few on YouTube. I'm not quite sure if there's anyone on YouTube who has any input that they want to share. Nobody wants to share on, so parents, you're not happy for, okay, Stephanie has, yes. So are you happy that school is back 5 days? What's your reflection? Go ahead, Stephanie.
Hello, good night, everyone. Well, I don't really want to share. I really wanted to get an idea of how is the school finding it with the kids and the mask wearing? How is it working out? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, then thank you for that, Stephanie.
Sure.
Okay. We'll have that addressed for you. Any other sharings in terms of persons, observations, do you think as parents that we're coping and doing well? What's your reflection on what's happening? Are you happy for the fact that we are doing 5 days, or you prefer the 2 days or the 3 days per week? Let me hear your feedback. Anyone?
I am happy that we're going 5 days.
Okay, great. All right. Deon, what's your feedback? Thanks for that, Malika. Deon? Your hands are raised.
I'm sorry about that. I was speaking and I was muted. Good night, everyone. I am representing K1E. And I was happy with the 5-day until the 4th wave started. I am a little concerned and I'm wondering what the school is doing about.
What's good for the both?
We're actually considering going back to the mixture instead of the full 5 days.
All right, thanks for that input, Leon. All right, Stephanie. Stephanie.
Yes, hi, how you doing?
Go ahead, your hand is up.
No, I'm to take it down. I had already asked my question.
Okay, great. Dion. So it's Latavia now.
Yeah,
Okay, please
thank
go ahead,
you. Good
Latavia.
evening again. Good evening again, everyone. Mr. Taylor, there are a couple comments in the chat, so just also directing you there as well. I agree with the parents in terms of the return. I prefer the return, and I think my child is doing better with face-to-face. That being said, there was, I think it was week before last, he was out for most of the week. And it would have been good if I could have probably log on to a Zoom account and have him just, join the class virtually. So I think there is a parent that also was suggesting that there should, it would be good to have a similar, sort of setup for students who, for some reason or the other, cannot join. I am not saying full Zoom. I'm just saying if he could probably just virtually join to see what is being done. I mean, I know it requires, for a device to set up at the school, but that is just something that maybe we could look into. I mean, it would obviously be different than online teaching, but at least to get some of the instruction.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So we're going to speak to that a little later on, Latavia. All right, so we have Kerry, and then we take Leon. So Kerry, go ahead, please.
Sorry about that. I was trying to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay. I am happy for the 5 days return. My child has just started school, and I don't think she was functioning well on the online classes. So I am very grateful for the face-to-face interaction. Where the parent just made a suggestion, the school may not be able to do to accommodate the children who are at home in the event that they're sick, but it's a good idea to have it in place in the event, well, to avoid children who are sick being taken to school in their sick state and then infecting others. So I think her suggestion about even recording the class sessions and uploading it to Edmundo is a good idea. Sorry, that's all the opinion I have.
Thank you for that, Terry. Dion, I see your hand up again.
Yes, that was the suggestion I was going to make, that we could upload the classwork or homework or whatever it is. Because my son was out because he was ill as well, had a runny nose. I didn't want to send him out. And I realized that he missed a few days. So if the lessons and stuff could still be, if Edmundo could still be used, Edmodo or whatever it is,
okay, to offer the
used to write as along with whatever is happening at school itself, that would help us a lot.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. All right. So there is Dane. I see your hand up. Dane, are you commenting? I see your hand is up. Or is it that you want to take it down? All right. Are there any other person who would like to weigh in on the matter of how it is going in terms of
They say
5
they
days
say
and any
they say
concerns?
they say they go to school. Then they go to school and they do the work. And when they
Mhm.
get homework, they put it in the book. So when they come home, they get to do the homework. They don't have to put it in Edmodo.
Okay, so you don't want the book, you don't want them to use the book instead of, okay, so send the books and have the books, have the work sent in the books or via WhatsApp or whatever methodology and let them work from the book. That's what you're saying. Okay,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
okay, that suggestion is taken. Thank you so much for that. Okay, go ahead, Dane.
Hello.
Yes,
All right.
miss.
Over in YouTube, Cassandra
Mhm.
Shaw and Mrs. McCleary is saying that they are pleased with the 5 days so far.
Okay, fantastic. So we're happy. So parents are in general pleased with the 5 day. Are there any parent who are saying, boy, I want to keep my child at home. I don't want to send them up because COVID is still around. Do we have any parent like that in the room? Okay. Shanice, is it your hand raised?
Good night, everyone. It was in relation to how is it that we are considering the 5 days? How is it that we feel about it? For me personally,
Yes.
it's not just them being able to learn more and grasping concepts more, which is important, but also the fact that they get some level of social interaction.
That's
So
very
I mean,
important.
they're young and they're impressionable and they learn from interacting with each other. And I think it's very because they were a lot of them. My child is in K3, and I honestly can say that he was losing out on that social interaction. So I'm very grateful that he's now in for 5 days, even for just that aspect only.
Great. Thanks for that. Thanks for that feedback. Appreciate that, Shanice. All right, great. Thank you so much. We're going to move on our next area. Ms. Burnett is going to make her report, but before I allow her to do her report, what are the things that she'll raise in that report? I just want to bring to your attention the fact that we have our fundraising activities for this term. So we do have a cake sale. We do have a cake sale. So the cake sale is slated to be on the 18th of February, 2022. So you may have seen our flyer, right? You may have seen the order sheet, or you may have seen the letter, or you may have seen all of the above. So what we're saying to you is that we would crave your support, and it is your support that will make it a success. Without your support, it won't work. So I know some parents tend not to want to because they're saying, well, I don't pay the school fee already and all of those things. But just to reiterate that what is collected is not sufficient enough to do all the things that needs to be done concerning the addressing some of the environment and so on. So we embark as a PTA, we embark on the fundraising to bring and to add our contribution to the physical plant and also to the well-being in terms of the environment of the school, and whatever tools necessary that we can afford, we will definitely try. So just to let you know that, remember that it is not a public school, it is a private institution. And so the revenue mainly comes from the fees that you pay. That has to take care of everything. So because of that, it means that we have a role also to play to make sure that we keep up the standard and we try to also improve on where we are and what we have currently. So the fundraising activities that you see, I'm asking you to give them your full support. So we are having the cake sale coming up in a few weeks. So we're going to be asking you to take the sheets, try to get as much orders as you can. You have about 2 weeks to do so. So by the 15th of February, we're hoping that we'll be able to collect those sheets. All right, so we decided to do it after Valentine's Day because one of the time, and also we wanted to give parents and persons who may want to contribute to our fundraiser an opportunity to do so closer to payday. Sometimes persons get early pay in terms of February, so we're just trying to put it in such a way that it's convenient for everybody, so persons don't stress until it's about the amount of money. Equally, We will give you maybe just about a week to try to bring in all of the funds. So persons who may not have gotten paid in the week of February 18th, that we can say to them, okay, fine, pay me next week. So we can try to collect and see how much money we can raise. We aim to continue some of the projects that we have started concerning putting in some technology in the classrooms, and also to affording some other improvements in terms of the physical plants. In terms of some of the classrooms, if you look in some of them, there's no flowers in the classrooms, right? So we need to put in we need to do some beautification and a little manicure of the campus just to make sure that the place look good and smell good. Not just to look clean, we want it to look good, we want it to smell good, and we want it to be a nice environment for our children to actually learn. We want it to be an environment that facilitates learning and development of our children. And so it's very important that you play your part in terms of supporting these ventures just to make sure that they work. I understand, yes, that it's COVID time, and I know that there are some challenges that may be faced, but one thing I've learned about parents is that where there's a will, there is a way. So I'm just going to ask you to make the effort to try to solicit as much as you can in terms of the orders, so that we are able to make something of this cake sale. Coming up on the heels of that, we'll have the Easter egg hunt, and we'll give you more information on that and explain a little bit more about how that works. I'm going to invite feedback on the cake sale if there are any questions you may have with regards to the cake sale. Anybody have any comments they want to make concerning the cake sale? I see Emma with her mic open. Emma? Emma? Hello? I see Emma Mommy with her mic open. Are there anybody else who want to make a comment about the cake sale? And please remember, even though we're selling slices of cake, if you want a whole cake, you can put in an order for a whole cake. We do facilitate that too. All right. And we know sometimes what you see on the sheet in terms of the order sheet, you may say, but I want something else, or maybe something different. We are open to try to see how best we can satisfy those needs, as long as it is profitable to us. All right. So we are open to your suggestions. That is in terms of being executed is worthwhile to us. So you should have gotten a letter or seen a letter floating around in your WhatsApp group for all of the classes. Everybody has gotten or seen the letters? Everybody has seen the letter? I'm just checking if everyone has seen a letter coming from us.
No, I haven't seen a letter.
You haven't seen a letter, okay.
It was
right,
posted in my class group by the class rep. Yes, so I do see.
Right. So I'm gonna just share.
Flyer was posted.
Okay, you saw the flyer. Okay, you saw the flyer. Okay.
Yes,
anyone
it
else
was posted.
have seen it and is aware of the of the
Class group also. Mr. Taylor?
Okay. It was shared in the class group also.
Yes, and Mr. Taylor, is it okay because some asked about some feedback read the squaring
Reading?
mask. About the mask wearing.
Yes, we're going to address those. We're going to give the feedback. I'm gonna just wait, and then when Ms. Burnett is giving her report, that those matters are addressed right at that particular point. So we're going to address the mask wearing and the other concern raised. The other concern that was raised with regards to facilitating online, and we also want to explore the whole issue of getting material for those students who may not be able to make it to school because they're not well. So we'll have those addressed. All right. But for the cake sale, everybody has an idea and has seen and is aware. So on screen, you should be seeing the letter. So it says that we're having our bake sale under our theme and what the cost is in terms of what we'll be having. So I'm gonna post one of the order sheet for you so you can have an idea what the order sheet looks like. So let me show you what the order sheet looks like so you're aware. Let me just share the order sheet so you can have a look. So these are supposed to have been shared or will be shared in short order. So you'll be able to pick up on the order sheet and know what's happening. So on the order sheet, so we have chocolate pack for 300, muffin for 400, chocolate cake for 1,000, Black Forest cake, red velvet, cheesecake, and plain cake. And I just want to ensure for everybody to know that it is not no dibby slice. All right, parents? So repeat after me. Our cake sale is not a dibby cake sale. So we're not giving it any dibby slice. All right, Shanice?
Good night again. Quick question. The plain cake is sugar and spice? Because I've been getting a lot of questions.
Right. So normally we sometimes do sugar and spice. We may also do from one of the persons who caters for us. And sometimes parents may donate. So if a parent donates and it's plain, then that's what we will also serve. So it may be a combination. If it is that specifically you want sugar and spice, you have to indicate to us and make sure that we know exactly what you want. In terms of
I will definitely
right.
make
So
that
once
indication.
we know what you want, we'll aim to please. And I'm hoping that we'll have a few orders for that. So we can
Yes, you will definitely have my order for that.
You'll definitely have from me as well.
All right. So we'll have that. So for the cheesecake though, we are looking the different types of cheesecake that we tend to have. We tend to have a Oreo-based cheesecake, and also we tend to also get Bailey's cheesecake. Generally, the Bailey's cheesecake is the cheesecake which is the one that most persons tend to go for, and has been the most popular one on our menu for the last couple of years. So we're looking at the Bailey's. We have cookies and cream cheesecake. We have chocolate cheesecake. As you know, we'll be having Black Forest cheesecake, triple berry cheesecake, and we are also looking at having strawberry cheesecake. So we'll be having a different varieties of cheesecake. So it's not only one. So we have enough cheesecakes for you to actually pick your choice. And my advice is try to get at least 2 different slices of cheesecake. Make one the Bailey's. Make one the Bailey's and another type of cheesecake. Try to make sure you grab at least 2 slices of cheesecake. Whatever you do, make sure that you grab at least 2 slices of cheesecake. Very important. You will not regret it. All right? All right, parents? All right, parents? Okay, so we are now at 7:01, so we're going to ask Miss Burnett to come on, and she's going to be giving her report, and we are going to invite her to come on the floor just now. Miss Burnett?
Yes, Mr. Taylor. Good evening, everyone. And let me use this opportunity to say welcome to our new parents. We have a few new parents who have joined us since January, and I just want to say welcome. Before I go any further, I'm going to invite Ms. Brown to say something, and also the Madam Chairman. Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Are you hearing me?
Good evening.
Yes, we're hearing
Good
you.
evening. Wonderful. All right, so I want to tell you about our Wacky Math Day. We are so excited. We know you're very creative. So tomorrow is Wacky Math Day. And be creative. Make it fun for the children. Sit with them and create a mask, right? So you can do any mask. So you know you have the mask that come in. It can be the surgical mask or it can be the soft mask. So anyone that you want to use, right? Just be creative and let them help you do it, right? So tomorrow is Wacky Mask Day, and the contribution is $300, and they will get popsicle along with that. Also, for each class, the child with the best mask or the funniest mask will get a little token. Okay, so I'm looking forward now to see your creativity. All right. So looking forward for your support tomorrow. Okay, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, are you still on the platform? Mr. Taylor, can you stop sharing your screen so mine can get a little bigger? Is the chairperson still on? I'll continue until she gets back. For persons who are not speaking, could you just mute your microphone?
Lonely problem.
Dane Hines, could you mute your microphone?
People like don't want to get over the ground.
Thank you. All right. I did say welcome to our new parents. Also, in the same breath, I want to tell you, although most persons would have known 3 members of staff, they have left us. So we are yet to replace those 3. One has gone abroad and 2 other pastures, right? Don't know if it's greener or it's redder, but there are times when persons have to move on. But we all end on, I mean, no fuss or anything. Persons just have to move on. And so we'll be trying to replace those persons. Also, by now, Mrs. Bray will be off. Our class would have known for a couple of weeks. She is off to do her surgery, thankfully. So far, surgery has been successful, so she will have some time to recuperate. All right. One of the things I need to speak about today is the rules, the school rules. And I know a person gonna say, I don't get one, but every person, once you come to school and you got one of those yellow or cream folder to fill out, a copy of the school rules was placed inside. And if you have not, I'll ask that you find me and get a copy, because I want us to appreciate that. I mean, rules are there, even down the hill. You go down there, sit and go and have him rule to us, but trying to reach down there. So we need to follow the school, and one of the rules on it, and I made sure I did this myself and bolded. I noticed that a number of students, especially the girls, have been creeping in with the braids. And the rule said, and that is rule number 7, only female students are allowed to wear jewelry to school. And that jewelry is a pair of simple gold or silver knob, not the basket looking one, or the one that somebody can pull on. It must be a knob. Watches, hair braids, and hair beads are capital N-O-T allowed. Boys' hair should be trimmed low. No mohawk or fading hairstyle is allowed. And that is on our school rules, and persons get that from the get-go day 1. And you also sign the document, and person guys said they don't know, but every one of you sign say you agree with it. So I don't want persons coming now to say they didn't know. Why we don't want braids? These are babies, these are small children. When your child is sensible and they won't do it, but another one who is not so sensible, pull that hair. What will happen? Also for the beads, it is prohibited. And whereas the beads, there are some small clips to that are just as the beads. I don't know, maybe sometime your child may wear it and it get by, but once I see it, and I keep saying to the teachers, look out, once you see it, you need to tell the parents it's a no, because sometimes we forget, right? So please, especially all that beads, because your child, as I said, is a smart one and will do nothing with it. No, it must remain in her hair. And not so smart one may just decide to pull it and where it goes, in the nostril or in the mouth. These things cause problems. We don't want any such thing. So please abstain from the ear beads and the weave or the hair braids. And can I say, some of those braids are covering a multitude of sin. And I won't say anything further because I had an issue, and once I pulled that, well, not even me, a parent pulled the braid, and honestly, what I saw, tears fell from my eyes. And therefore, I don't want it. You wear blue or red ribbon. You don't need no beads and you don't need no braid. Please, parents, cooperate with us. Also going down, and if for those who don't have the school rule, I'm gonna ask you that you get a copy and put it where you put your land title and your marriage certificate and everything. All right. For those who are sick, we ask that you keep the child at home, because if you don't, we are going to be sending back the child. We're going to call you back. So please don't even bother with that. If they are out, you need to take it out for 3-4 days. We don't know. You need to say, take back something. Yes, this child is fit and ready for school. Also, if a child is removed from school for a term to return the following term, listen to me carefully, fees must be paid for both terms to ensure that the child will retain his or her space. So you can't just pull the child gone overseas or gone to the country for a term, nothing said, and then you come back the next term. No, 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 no. Can't work. You have to pay for that, the term, to keep the space. And you also must put it in writing to let us know that the child is out. Cheese tricks, soda, I see them creeping back in. No, if you want to give your child that at home, do so at your own will, but not at school. We have water and fruits day. We need to start it back since we just come back to school. I'm not sure if it's a Thursday or a Wednesday we normally have it. A teacher can remind me. So children are expected to take water and fruit to school.
Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
On a Wednesday, thank you. So water and fruit day. So that day you don't worry, pack up the whole heap of snack. You make sure you have fruits and water. We need to get them to do that. While we're at it, nuts, please do not put nuts in your child's bag. Your child might be okay having nuts and nothing happens. My child might be allergic to it, and you know, there are children, they will share. and it can have adverse effect. Keep the nuts at home and feed your child your nuts to his or her delight at home. Do not send the nuts to school. All right. So those are some of the ones, and I just want to highlight them. Also, we still have a few parents who are sending persons to pick up their child and no formal communication. As I am almost sure I said it all the while, don't even call me on the phone. I'm not going to entertain you because I don't know who I'm speaking with. You need to send something written to say that you're sending Mr. Brown to pick up your child. And also, if your letter only say, I asked Mr. Brown to pick up Caleb on today, and it don't say tomorrow, don't send Mr. Brown tomorrow without the letter, because the letter you sent yesterday was only for yesterday. If you need him to pick up days after, you need to state that in the letter. So we know that, yes, once this one letter comes and we have the signature of you on it, or was attached the driver's license or whatever ID to it, that can go on the child's file, or you can put it in writing and ask that he or she be added to the pickup persons. Don't call and send persons. They are not going to get the child. All right. So that is that. I hear persons talking about the lessons and children who are absent. The truth be told, parents, we can't be doing everything at the same time, because the teacher will be teaching and it's not possible to be teaching and zooming at the same. We need the proper devices to do all that. What I can promise you though, if the child is out and we know that the child is sick, yes, because if they're sick, that we don't want them at school, the teacher can send the lesson like you were getting whilst you were home. The teacher can send the lesson, you work with your child, do the work, take the workbook, do the work, and send it back to school. And whereas persons are thinking that, yes, school is going to go back to 2 day and 3 day and 1 day, kind of get it out of your mind. Because if you read between the lines as to what is happening in our country and other countries, it's not going back there for now. We just have to learn to work with COVID. It is here, and we just have to learn to work with it. If you need to take your vaccine, go and take your vaccine. Sanitize, social distance, and do what is necessary. But as the Prime Minister said, we're going to have to learn to live with it. And that's just the hard facts. Today is COVID, tomorrow is something else. The children have lost a lot of learning. Some of them know social skills, and we can understand some of them have been out for almost 2 years. Some of my students, I don't even know them, and that is unlike me. So social skills is one. Some of them, they have no self-help skills, and parents, you're at home and you do everything for these children. When they come, they can't button their shirt, they can't pull up their pants, they can't pull it down. Come on, 4-year-old. No. And most time it is the mommies who are doing these things. They pick up the toy for them, they do this for them, and so when they come, they don't know how to do these things. They need to learn self-help skills. Take some time and work with the child. Button your shirt, put it down, let them lie on it, push in one hand, push in the other hand, get up. That is your shirt on. Put the pants on the ground, let them lay down on the ground, push in one foot, push in the other foot, get up and pull up. These are things you need to teach your children. It can't be that you send them to school and teach, you have one and you are not doing that, and you're sending your one with 19 others or 20 others to a teacher. Consider it. You need to help us to help your child. Also, there are 1 or 2 persons who are still not quite potty trained yet. They don't get it yet. Parents, please to work with us. So if they are to be potty trained, they can't be wearing Pampers. We don't do Pampers at Jamaica House Basic School. We don't do pull-ups at Jamaica House Basic School. So if I find that your child is constantly wearing Pampers and pull-ups, I'm going to ask you to pull the child until the child is able to wear panty and brief. And that's just as it is. I am not going to beat around the bush. That is it. All right, we have to learn to work with the program. All right. Am I missing anything? Is there any question before I ask Madam Chairperson to come in?
Oh, Mrs. Burnett?
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, everyone. Miss Rita Mask, parents are still not sending an extra mask or 2 with their child. So I am asking that they do, because it is very important. It cannot be, because some of them, as you have stated, Miss, that they need to know how to do things. Like, for instance, some don't know the purpose of the mask, as in they have it in their mouth or they're chewing on it. So parents can sensitize them on the mask wearing on the weekends, and on a Monday, you know, put extra mask in the bag, even 2 or 3, right? So that is my take on it.
And while you're at it, I know some persons prefer the disposable mask, but the challenge we're having with it is that once they come, they twist it and turn it and then use it to play frisbee, and then it's, oh, it's broken. And they get to the other one and they do the same thing. It's broken, and then they have nothing. When they have the cloth mask, they can't tell you it's broken. So I am encouraging persons as much as possible to use the cloth mask and to make sure that you give them water every day and a change of clothes. Whether 3K, 1K, 2 or K3, because accidents do happen. All right.
Miss, one other observation too, when the child is having like flu-like symptoms, what the parents would do, instead of keeping the child or keeping the child home, they would put on 2 masks to say to hide the cold.
See?
The parent, you got that?
Yes, so yeah, the parent just double up the mask and send the child instead of keeping the child at home. That's a no-no. Any other question? Are we through? I'm just trying to see if Madam Chair is still on. Other than that, the Kiwanis Club.
I am here.
Okay, go ahead. Over to you, Madam Chair.
Miss, you have some reason.
No, man, go ahead.
I have raised hand. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just finish.
Arthur J.
Arthur J.
Okay,
Go
good
ahead.
night, everyone. Yeah, good night, everyone.
Good day.
So I have a little question. So the issue about those persons who cannot make it to school. So because we've been at home so long, and I'm so used to getting the lesson on Edmodo, you know, and now all the books are at school. So to kind of like enforce the lesson for the day, maybe on the weekends or in the afternoons, if the lesson, at least the lesson can be uploaded or shared in the WhatsApp group.
I think it can be shared in the WhatsApp group, because I know there are some teachers who still send it. Once the child is out, they send it. So that can be arranged. Michaela's.
Hello, good night. Only on Wednesday, alone is supposed to put fruits in their burger every morning.
Every day, but especially on a Wednesday, it is fruits and water day. So if you used to put 1 bottle of water, you're gonna put 2 bottles of water, you're gonna put extra fruit because the chips and all of that is a no-no on a Wednesday.
Oh, on a Wednesday, no chips, just fruits and water.
Ah, fruits and water.
No juice.
No, no, no. Fruits
Okay.
and water day.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm on mute as requested, but I'm not able to share.
We're hearing you.
I would like to share screen. It's disabled. Please.
Hold on, Madam Chair, hold on. Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, again, and I must say Happy New Year. It's my first time joining you for the new year. And thanks for the support for those who are continuing to K3 and K2. For the K1, welcome. And thanks to Madam Principal and the teachers at the Jamaica House Basic School and the PT. Please accept greetings from the members of the board. Some not able to join us this evening. They would have loved to. But I'm going to do a quick presentation regarding what we're doing, a project we undertake for the Jamaica House Basic School. I'm going to switch to slideshow. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, miss.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. So the Kiwanis Club at Papine at UTEC has undertaken a reading project at the Jamaica House Basic School. It's more like a pilot project to get our students to be reading at a higher level. So Lalilo by Renaissance is an overseas, Renaissance is overseas, but I'll be going through with you. The director for this part of the project, working with the director, Simone Bury-Ricketts, who is overseas. So let me just give a quick background. Literacy is a human right and not a privilege. And it has been said that 70% of our 6 to 9 years of age children are not that literate. And this was in 2020. Our literacy rate in Jamaica, I guess, will be a bit more lower than we anticipate because of COVID-19. So Jamaica was ranked 118th in 2015, and other countries like Barbados was ranked 5th because they had a 99.7% literacy rate. At the time, Jamaica had an 86.4. Trinidad is way above us. They are 67 in the ranking. Right. So the Minister of Education in 2021 reported that some students graduating primary schools were not able to read properly, and this needs to be addressed at the early childhood level. So we're starting with Jamaica House Basic, and they are a pilot project, and they are the first in the Caribbean to be using this program. Due to COVID-19, students are absent from school, so they have limited school days and hours. Some persons are not doing so well with their reading, so we are here to try and improve that. The National Education Council, what's a major source of distance learning during COVID-19. And you are aware that we had to go online for many students. So at Jamaica House Basic, we're trying to improve the reading level. So the signature project, which is our baby project, and we are giving it all of our attention at the Kiwanis Club of Papine at UTEC. And this is what we are going to do. We're trying to improve or serve and benefit and impact children. That's one of the goals of Kiwanis Club. We are building stronger communities and creating an impact, and we want Jamaica House to be #1 and head the list. Our focus also is on education and health. We are trying to address the literacy issue that we're having in Jamaica. So the LILO literacy program will be started with our K3 and K2 students, approximately 130 students, and the reading program / competition. What we're trying to do is improve our students' reading ability and provide hybrid instructional resource for our teachers, where they can also assess the student reading levels, also send assignment via this platform. So this is just a picture showing you what we will be looking at. For the Early Childhood Literacy app, it looks at phonics, word recognition, and reading comprehension. So this is just showing you that we look at grammar, comprehension, skills. We donated a few of the books on Wednesday, Mrs. Burnett? On Wednesday.
Yes, Miss.
So at the end of the books, if you get a chance to look at it, it gives the children questions that they need to answer. So we get an understanding of their comprehension skills. It's raining where I'm at, so you may hear a little background noise. So we look at phonics and how to complete words, and it gives the teachers a better understanding of the students' reading level. So say for instance, she has 20 students in the class. We don't want to leave any child behind. So you may have a student who is reading way ahead of the other students, and you may have one that is lingering behind. So this affects the student, and the teacher is better able to assist the student at the level they're at to improve. So what this says, this student has mastered the lesson. This one, phonics, getting it right, and the red indicate that this student needs help. There is no green over this side. So these students with a lot of red needs help. So it allows the teacher to do the assessment. It also gives a report about the student's literacy improvement. So as the student reads and the reading improves, then the teacher and the parents is able to assist and track the child that is in the program. Okay. So currently we are going to do the pilot program. We did the launch this month. We are doing the pilot program until the 30th of April of this year, but we hope to continue this program for at least 3 years and beyond. Renaissance is willing to do the training for our teachers, and they're giving us access to the software, and in the software, we're going to get access to many books. The cost is US $1,167, and that will be undertaken by the Kiwanis Club of Papine at UTEC. we got a discount, so we are now able to pay $867.10 US. So the partnership with Lalilo by Renaissance, they have their mission and they started in 1986, and their mission is to accelerate learning of all children and adults, and also the ability levels of comprehension, whether it doesn't matter the social background or ethnicity. They are used by at least 40% of the US schools, and they are over 100 countries and 6 continents. We are the first in Jamaica to use this platform. So what we're trying to do is to develop early readers. So the competition includes that during the time, the child or children that reads the most books will have an award, and I'm coming to that just now. So they're partnering with Jamaica, as I said, and it is now necessary with COVID-19, and one parent was saying some of the books are at school, so she could not access the books. We are going to give you access to plenty reading books, and you can read along with your children. For the reading competition, we try to persuade our students to start reading a bit more. The K2 and K3 students will be put on the system by Renaissance and also their teacher. So the teacher's name and the student, the class that that student belongs, would be on their system. So the student will read at home with the parents for 10 weeks. So you need to read at least a book per week or more, because the books are short, not much pages in them, maximum maybe 10 pages. So you can read along with your children, and the topics are quite interesting. Watermelon for lunch. What else, Mrs. Burnett? My neighborhood. So once you got on this, we get on this platform, we'll have access to books from the Jamaica Library Service, Unite for Literacy, which is an international platform. So we have those. And also we utilize the Jamaica House reading room that we also have. So students will be provided with scholarship or award in April. So half of the tuition fee, 50% of the tuition fee would be paid over to the school in voucher by the Kiwanis Club of Papi at UTEC. And students will do drawing of what they understood from the books they read, and that will be awarded another $5,000. Medals will be given to the top 3 readers, and we will not be leaving the top 10 out, but we're trying to recognize all our students and encourage them to read. So there's a link for parents that will be given, and the link is right here for you to also follow your child's progress as they read. Lalilo software, they are giving us access to the 30th of April. Teachers who use this software to send students assessments, for students assessment, assignments, spelling, phonics, they have mathematics also on it. It's a resource platform also for the teacher. The teacher themselves would be given voucher amounting to $5,000. Top students and most improved students will also be recognized by the Kiwanis Club of UTEC. So we're improving the Jamaica House Basic School literacy by incorporating Kiwanis Club of UTEC, a Papine of Papine at UTEC, the teachers, administrators of the school, members of the board, the parents, and the PTA body. So we're trying to do this pilot with 130 students at first, and then we will try to get our K1 students also involved once the pilot study is over. We want to make it a staple, a part of the Jamaica House Basic, and when the students leave K3, to go to primary school, we hope that they are reading at grade 1 or grade 2 level. At the end of April, we'll be doing an evaluation of this pilot project. And based on the evaluation, then we will move forward. But as I said, we want to do a minimum 3 years and then move on to be a part of the curriculum at the Jamaica House Basic School. So we want the cooperation of you, the parents. We can't do it without you. So we expect to get your cooperation. So if you have any questions, because what we want to do after we've finished with it at Jamaica House Basic School and make it a part of our state group at our school, the Ministry of Education would like to see if they can get it into other schools. So we have to make this work for Jamaica and our region, and then Jamaica House. Yes, Stephanie?
Hello, good night.
Good night.
I missed a little part of what you were saying. I heard you mentioning some costs, but I don't know if that is of relevance to us.
The Kiwanis Club of Kapeen at UTEC will be taking on that cost.
Okay, so it's not directly relevant to the
what
child.
We
okay.
What we ask for the parents to do, once you get the link to access the books, to read along with your child and also follow the report that is generated for your child as they improve.
Okay. So is it a case where we'll be verbally reading and the software will be doing some recording? Like how is it being monitored?
Some of the books are recorded, but what we encourage is that the child verbally reads for the improvement and phonics and for them to better understand some of the things. Some of the books are pre-recorded and you can play and listen, but then you can also turn off the sound and allow the child to read.
Okay, thanks for that bit of clarity.
Yes. But not all of the books come with recording, but majority of them will have recording, but it gives you the option.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. If there are no other questions. I remember something was on the agenda, schools, primary school, prep school. For those persons who will be sending off their child to prep school in September, now is the time to start getting to those schools and finding out the January, February, maybe by March, they are closed. Those who intend for primary school, it's not primary time yet. They normally go a little later, say about March, April, May. All right, so for those for the prep school, and let me tell you, it's those who are in K3 now. Yes, so don't wait and then you say, oh, I think he had another year. No, no, no. Those in K3 now, if you're interested in sending your child to a prep school, now is the time to start that process. If it's a primary school you have in mind, then you have a little more time till about March, April, May there. All right, so start looking around. Mr. Taylor?
Miss Jessie and St. Francis is in February online.
Okay, St. Francis is February online. I know Excelsior Primary is online. I think most people going online. Does Jamaica House have feeder school? There's no such thing as feeder school anymore, unless the school is a infant school that is attached to a primary school, like Alpha Infant, which will be attached to Alpha Primary. But other than that, you don't have feeder schools. What happens is that like Mona Heights Primary, they'll send forms to us. What's the other name of the other school? Dunrobin Primary will send some forms to us. Alpha Tree Primary don't send any form, but they'll inform us as to when is the registration day. Excelsior will take a few, but they're online, so you need to, once I get wind of when their portal is open, I'll let you know. All right, so by and large, you are. But most persons, if they're going to send St. Richard's, do send for some, but it's not the easiest of thing. Yes, they probably ask for 5, and we send the names of 5. Sometimes they may take 3, sometimes they take all 5. All right, so we have to start the process. Somebody asking when Jamaica House Basic registration start. We start the 1st of March, but like how you are there, you can come in the last week in February. But for the public, the 1st of March. So the last week in February, come in, get your application form, complete it and leave it. Some people complete it and take it home. And when they return is the day when we're having Orient registration. That time too late. All right. So complete it and leave it. Okay, I think that's it. Mr. Taylor, you may continue your meeting. I think it's almost coming to an end now. Mr. Taylor, I think that was, there was any other business. I don't know if anybody has any other concern. So remember tomorrow, Wacky Mass Day, you pay the $300 so you can give that to the class teacher. All righty.
Thank you so much, Ms. Burnett. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Smith, for your presentation. And I just want to endorse the sentiments and the project that Ms. Smith is doing. It is something that aligns with the goals and aspirations of the PTA. And we're hoping that we'll be able to work together to even maximize the benefits, both to parents and students over the period. Parents, I do implore you to give it your maximum support. And it is something that is very critical because you might have heard me before say it, and I'll say it again. We recognize that parental involvement plays a very critical role in your development and the outcomes of your child. So it's important that you spend that time and take that time to invest in your child and to make sure that at the end of the day, they're on a good footing. So again, I'd want to say that we want to ensure and work with the school as the PTA to make sure that we give our children the best possible start that they can get in life. So for every parent in this room, I know that that's your dream. You want to give your child a good start, and you chose Jamaica House Basic, and we want to deliver on that promise for you and to work with you to make sure that it becomes a reality in the child's life. So we're not just thinking no, we're thinking long term. And I just want to encourage every single parent in this room and on YouTube to make sure that you do and commit all of your efforts to make sure that this thing happens. All right. So again, I really want to laud the project and to say it is something that we definitely want to see happen. And we say we are behind it 110% and more if necessary to make sure that it happens. So parents do cooperate with the teachers when they send for the information and the recommendations to just work with the child to make sure that we do well, especially throughout this trial period up to April. In terms of any other business, I'm not quite sure if there's any matters to raise. I know that we're going to be seeking someone to fill the role of secretary. So I'm going to ask that if you think that you want to be a part of the PTA exec, please submit your name to us so that we can duly consider you and ensure that you become a part. And the role of the secretary is really just to take the minutes and the notes and to make sure that correspondences are done throughout the life of the PTA, and to work with the school administration to make sure that information is provided both ways, to make sure that everybody is up to speed and the communication works well between us and the school and the parents on a whole. Are there any questions or issues that any parent has that they want to bring to the fore?
Just to bring parents up to speed that on Wednesday, February the 2nd, will be play day, recognized as play day. So please do some playing with your child or children. All right, we'll be doing it at school as well.
Thanks. Thank you, Ms. Burnett, for that. All right, are there any, if there's no other comments, we are going to adjourn our meeting. So we want somebody to move for the adjournment. Anybody want to move for the adjournment? Any parent?
I so move, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Burnett. Seconded by?
I second it, Mr. Taylor.
Seconded by Ms. Crawford. Thank you so much for that. All right, so parents, again, thank you so much for showing up and being here. As usual, we thank you for your regular full support. So again, just continue to support us in our fundraising events, in our activities that we'll be doing on with the school and the upcoming projects, just to make sure that they are a success. So the aim is to make sure your life is more comfortable and that we provide an environment that is safe and would enable and clearly cause your child to want to love to learn and do well and excel in life. Thank you so much again for being a part of the meeting. And again, I ask you to enjoy the rest of your week. All right, so listen out for us to be giving you different notices through the class reps in the WhatsApp groups. Do enjoy, and please feel free if you have any ideas or any suggestions, please feel free to tap one of us or send us a message, or just to have a conversation. So you can just talk to any of us, right? We are always available and we'll make ourselves available to listen to you. So please feel free to do so. We're very much approachable, we're down to earth. So we want to make sure that you're able to communicate with us well and that we do bear your point, all right? So if there are any matters or anything of interest, please bring it to our attention. We'll be happy and we definitely welcome all your suggestions. So fundraising activities or different things that we can do around the school. We will appreciate your input. Thank you so much again for being here, for being online, for participating in the meeting. We really appreciate for those who prayed and participated in terms of adding their comments throughout the meeting. We definitely want to say thank you very much. And we just always want to continue to big up our teachers. We want to big up the K1 teachers, the K2 teachers, the K3 teachers, just to say that you are doing a marvelous job. We know you're under stress sometimes with a lot of other issues. And we just want to say thanks for accommodating us and bearing with us as parents sometimes. And just to make sure, and sometimes, you know, we have challenges. I know you sometimes have challenges with children in the classroom. So we just want to say big up to you. We want to just tell you thanks and just continue to do what you're doing. And that as parents, we really appreciate your labor of love. Thanks again, and I will say good night to everyone and all the best. Safe journey for those who have to travel. Journey mercies to you. And we just pray all the best to everyone else. Again, thank you so much and do enjoy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Have a blessed evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.